Hi, I'm Kim Wilson,
And I'm Natasha Marchewka.
and this is Speechless. 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 Welcome to our behind the scenes take on real life and VO, where we share our stories, our resources, and our unsolicited opinions. And what do we have today?
Today we have VO North, the
Yay!
only Canadian voiceover conference.
Pretty cool.
It's very cool. Kim and I are sharing voiceover conferences. There are a lot. We have a lot to go.
Yeah.
But VO North is the only Canadian voiceover conference, and I love it. It's in Toronto. That's my hometown.
I was just going to say.
And it was started by Dervla Trainer, who is a voice actor in Canada, and her agent, Tanya Buchanan of Tada, a Tada VoiceWorks, Tada agency. Not sure. It's Tada exclamation mark. So,
and both are really cool. So stay tuned. But,
yeah.
before we dive in, we'd love you to sign up for our newsletter.
Because we give you all the key takeaways.
Yeah.
So our newsletter is at speechlessvo.com, our website, where you can see all our episodes and all the episodes organized into categories if you only want to watch a category. But you can sign up for our newsletter. It comes out every Monday before the Thursday show with all the key takeaways and resources and the drinks, if you want the recipes.
And we'd just love to see your name on that list.
We would. And it's great and handy to have all the key takeaways, because who wouldn't want that, right? Okay, so watch the show. Okay. Well, we won't keep you too long.
You pulled over just for this?
Oh. What do you mean just for this? Of course.
I love it.
Thank you. Yay. Honored.
Thank you. Honored. Or did you pull off and get a drink?
Poor
I have
Derby.
my
we're ready.
Water.
Oh my God, that is awesome.
Okay, well, since we're sharing, go ahead and share, Kim. Go ahead and share.
I've got a tequila smash, which is delicious.
Tequila smash.
What's in a tequila smash?
Lemon and lime and mint and tequila. Bing bong.
That's amazing.
It's amazing.
What have you got, Tanya?
I've got something not as exciting, water, but I like to spice things up. And I added some Mio, my favorite,
nice.
and my favorite mug.
Trust your agent.
Yes, keep calm and trust your agent. Well, I went with the Riel Sangria, which I love so very much.
Oh, yeah, you do.
I was debating water, healthy water, or this.
Or a little sangria.
Good for you.
Cheers.
Tanya,
Thank you for joining us.
Cheers. I think you two win. Cheers.
Yeah. You win for sure.
Well, we're experienced drinkers. No, we're experienced interviewers.
We've been doing this for a while.
We've been doing this well. Thank you for joining us. So excited.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
I love VO North. One reason is because Toronto is my birthplace. It's my hometown, and it's in my heart. And California is stupid. Toronto is my hometown. And so to have a VO conference in Toronto is so exciting for me. And it's the only conference in Canada, isn't it, gals?
It is.
Yeah.
And that's
so
all
technically, it's the best conference in Canada too.
VO conference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The VO conference.
So how did you guys, what's the origins of VO North? Tell us all about. Oh.
I went to a meetup once, and it was just hanging out in a bar, just meeting some fellow voice actors. And there were a lot of people who showed up coming from Buffalo, like America,
just for the meetup,
just to sit in a pub and talk to other voice actors. And I saw, well, clearly there's a need for some sort of community gathering. Right. And I have a background in event production. So I thought, well, why don't I put together a curated event where they're actually learning as well? And it's organized and a full day event. So it's worth their time coming. So I started doing it and like planning, and then my agent calls me one day and she says, come into the office. I'm like, oh God. I felt like I was going to the principal's office. I'm like, oh no, she's going to like drop me from the roster. And so I get there and Tanya says, have a seat on the couch. I'm like, oh God, oh no. Anyway, and she goes, pulls out a notepad and she goes, tell me all about this VO North. And she's like, okay, well, what about this? And then, so she ended up helping with all the speakers. And so it was kind of, I started it, but really Tanya was actually there from the beginning with me. And then the second year we decided to partner up officially.
Cool.
That's great.
Yes. Yeah. You obviously have a great agent that collaborates.
She's okay.
I noticed.
Some days.
Once this airs, this is airing a week after the intensive come out. So that the intensives actually come out today, which is last week if you're watching it. And it's all people that are not the usual suspects. I love that.
Right.
Tell us about your selection process of speakers.
That's sort of my expertise. And one reason I came in with Dervla is it was so important to me to get speakers who are not only relevant, but, trustworthy, and also people you don't normally have access to. And one of the great things about me being an agent is I talk to all these people on a regular basis, or a lot of these people on a regular basis. And quite frankly, they're more happy to take my call than another voice talent who's probably got an ulterior motive or anything like that. So it was really, and I just wanted us to be different. And especially year after year, you do have the same people on, we call it the circuit, right? The conference circuit. And so I think that everybody, can learn from different people, of course, but we just want it to be different. And one of the biggest things for me was, and as an agent particularly, is it's great. And a lot of conferences have voice talent talking to voice talent, but I wanted us to be different and look at agents, casting directors. And if they are voice talent, they offer something, they've been in the business 20 years. Like this year we have Eric Bauza, who's the voice of Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck and a million other things. And David Kay, whose resume is like so long, I'd go on forever. I mean, these are guys who are not on the circuit. And they have, so even though there are voice talent, you're going to have access to them, but because they don't coach, when would you ever sit in a room with these people, right? A lot of people. So I look at that when I look at who I'd like to bring on as a speaker, and keep things fresh. And, it's so important. Like, you're going to learn so much from casting directors and agents. And these are the people who are working in the business every single day and can tell you, the trends. Because I saw a lot of these conferences, like, these people haven't worked in the business in 10 years and they're like telling people, giving people advice. So it really frustrating for me. That was the biggest reason I came on with Dervla for VO North, because I got so frustrated seeing a lot of, coaches and those type of things. I thought, how can I stop this from happening? And you can't really. There's always going to be somebody who, takes your money and shouldn't be taking your money. But I thought, if I join Dervla and do something where we're providing something that people know is reputable and know these speakers are like top notch, that was my way of combating the bad guys.
I love that. How many people usually go to VO North? Or how has there been like an increase every year? Where did it start? Where is it now?
Emmy, you were just talking about that today. You want to
Yeah, well, yeah, it was. We started when Dervla's first year. I think we were at about 100. I don't have that, somewhere around there. And then we've doubled sort of every year, but it's really important for us to keep the numbers down and so we always talked, when Dervla and I have talked about how the conference will expand and grow over the years, we're not going to grow in numbers. When we grow, it's going to be in different places. So, going forward, we're going to have, VO North in Toronto, VO North in Vancouver, VO North in Montreal, VO North in Buffalo, VO North in, anywhere north. Halifax, because we want to keep those numbers really, because defeating, if we have like 800 people in a room, you're defeating the purpose of having that like one-on-one contact with a casting director or with somebody that you don't, because it just feels too big and feels too impersonal to me. So this year we anticipate 300 maybe.
Cool.
300, and that's kind of what we're thinking of capping it at, like for moving forward as well. Yeah,
as a
it's
talent,
a labor of love.
Absolutely, it has to be a labor of love, right? And because why do it? As a
we ask ourselves
talent,
that sometimes.
I'm always looking for better educational opportunities, and that's how I choose conferences. It's great to see friends, but really, I want to learn. Tell us about the levels. So you have stuff for beginners and experienced talent. Just talk about that. Elaborate on, is there something for the seasoned voice actor?
That's a really good question, Natasha, because it's funny. My background before I became an agent bazillion years ago as a voice talent myself, and I found that there was nothing for experienced talent. You could find a ton of stuff to how to get into the business. There's very little stuff for people who have been in a while. And I really believe it doesn't matter how long you've been in the business, 20, 30 years, you can always grow. You can always learn. So we really wanted to make sure that there was something for the veterans as well as the beginners and in between, things that it doesn't matter if you're just starting or if you've been in it for 30 years. I mean, there's always things that are sort of in the middle. So for instance, I think we've had it every year except maybe the first. We have a special intensive just for people who are very, very new to the business, and they may not even know, certain lingo or certain terms. And we do it the day before so that they can get the most out of the sessions that they go to during the conference, because they've gotten kind of a VO 101. So at the same time that's going on, though, you've got, Eric Bauza doing an intensive for people who have a little more experience. And then, during the sessions, we've actually split up the animation and gaming this year, because I find that those are genres that are really different as a beginner and as somebody who's been in the business for a while. You're getting very different information. So that'll be split into a beginner animation session and an advanced. So yeah, we've really taken, that into consideration and hope we've planned something for everyone.
Cool.
Yeah, oh, go ahead.
Go, Dervla, go, please.
It was based on feedback. So every year we send out a feedback survey, and we take into consideration everything people say. And that specific point goes back to, I think after the first or second year, where we intentionally try to break it down so people are going into a talk knowing, rather than you going into the talk and being an experienced talent and them telling you, mic technique. We want to help people be able to, in advance, curate what talks they're going to go to. So that's why we label it now. That's just a little bit more insight.
Cool. Well, to share with everybody, this year's VO North is September 16th, 17th, and 18th, really 17th and 18th. 16th is the intensives. We were going to ask you what to expect from the future, but now I know it's going to be in different cities, and I can't wait because I love visiting Canada and different places in Canada. I also want to finally say when I attended VO North, there's attention to detail like no other conference I've been to. So you guys really add this sparkle in terms of attention to detail. Like you don't forget anything. And I find that can happen. Things slip through the cracks, and you guys really put icing on the cake.
Well, it's the one advantage of both Dervla and I being, all our hands in a million different pies, because I also have event background as well as being a voice talent, as well as being an agent. And, so we've sort of taken all our mishmash of, background, and it's coming to use finally.
It makes for a lovely experience. Thank you for doing that. And Kim, and I always say, fuck it.
Oh,
we got shit to do.
Yes,
let's be awesome
we
now.
do. Let's be awesome now. Get back on the road, Dervla. Thank you so much.
Drive safe. Great to meet you. Cheers for everything you're going to plan. We can't wait to hear how it turns out, and hopefully be there as well.
Thank you.
Excellent. So nice to see you guys.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Speechless. Speechless.